Hi, in this video we want to go over our 2019 Sustaining Partner Program. This is a critical program that provides the resources to underwrite much of the activities of our working groups and the planning process that goes on to support this activity. So let me walk through this with you. First, we want to focus on our sponsor interests. Based on 15 years of experience, we know that we have folks and organizations that want to partner with us for a number of different reasons. One is customer retention. Many companies already have customers and a customer base in a certain area, and they want to stay in front of that customer base. And this is a great opportunity to do that. There are other companies that want to provide business development. They want to get to know people, find out the requirements, get their information out there. There's also groups that are doing marketing, sales, and education. They're testing new products. They're getting feedback on their own internal R&D work. So they want to find out what products are out there, conduct research, and inform their transition efforts as they bring products into the market. And then there's a lot of other reasons why people want to be part of this. They're a government agency, and they can't move as fast, or they're not as nimble. They want to work with private sector in a different way. So they don't become necessarily sponsors, but they become partners in the process. So as we go through this, I'll show you kind of how this works. So we look at relationship development as a key part of what we do. We will promote certain services from our partners. We certainly create a lot of branding awareness on our websites, on our social media apps down the road when we implement one later this year in 2019. We drive sales and appointments, as most people that are in marketing and sales need to, I need to do that. Well, we do that in a very interesting and unique way. We have a lot of history and proven experience on how to do this, but we have a unique approach to this. So let me talk about what we do. So there's really 4 areas the All Hazards Consortium focuses on. One is planning year-round, and that covers a lot of ground. We talk about private sector, cross-sector planning. We do multi-state and private sector planning, and then we do complex issues planning, like where do we find better fuel data, where do we find better lodging information, how do we reduce conflicts at the Canadian border, how do we get better weather data, those kinds of things. We develop solutions as a result. Some we develop internally, a lot of time we develop with partners like you. Then we look at research transition. The federal government funds us to look at products, enhance products, find products, and test them and so forth. And then we do disaster management. When it hits the fan, we have to get our partners in place where we can help resolve some of the problems. So we have a whole incident management side of what we do. So if you back away and look at this here, kind of the broad sense, under planning you can see projects come out of this planning process, regional initiatives come out of that, information sharing initiatives, policy initiatives, and then we do exercises as well. Under the solution development, we focus on technology areas. We do operational policy development, how to expedite processes, make them faster and better. We do project education. Many times there's projects going on already that you might be involved in with one state that other states don't know about or would like to know about. We do market development. A lot of times we do surveys. Hey, is there a need for something like this? We do requirements development through our working groups. We test requirements, we evaluate them, we get feedback loops along the way for research transition. We have a big agreement now with the federal government to use their dollars to see if there's new widgets in the oven that private sector owner-operators can use. And of course, then we have a whole disaster management program that allows us to provide an operations help desk, alerting, situation awareness reports, information products, and we actually connect very closely in with our states to resolve issues really strong on the East Coast. We this past year in 2018, we moved on the West Coast. We helped with support with the wildfires. So that brings up a whole incident management community that across law enforcement, transportation, public safety, public works, emergency management, covers multiple sectors as well. So that's what we do. So let's go on to the next one. So who do we do it? How do we serve people? So we work with government, work with private sector, many trade associations, nonprofit, higher ed, and so forth. We have a very sophisticated developing process of how people find us. So up here you can see we are moving very rapidly into the social media process. We have a standalone process right now that's developed over 700 brand new subscribers, if you will, in less than 2 months. Nationwide, multiple sector, federal government, state government, local government. We conduct webinars as a great way to push information and leverage our membership base and take on new topics and develop them. We conduct numerous workshops and summits, face-to-face meetings, some large, some small, some over 150, some are about 40 to 50. We develop partnerships through trade associations and companies, and our partnerships develop a lot of activity and bring in new members as well. We issue reports. We do an annual report once a year, but there's a number of other reports that we don't produce, but we are part of. And that brings in a lot of new readership and awareness as well. And most recently, we developed the sensitive information sharing environment. This is going to be a private sector run, secured information sharing environment that government really, really wants to get access to. And we're working with DHS, who helped fund that as a project. So through the SICE, we call it, we will drive a lot of traffic. And then there's other ways people find us through our members speaking at conferences and things like that. So if we go down here to government, we work at federal, state, local, and government agencies as well. Private sector is a huge category. I just have it listed here. We're not going to go into too much detail there. But across the private sector, we cover across 8 or 9 different sectors: power, communications, transportation, water, food, health, IT, retail, supply chain. We work with trade associations very closely in the electric sector, food sector, and fuel sector, and that's growing. A number of nonprofits nationwide that we are engaged with on various levels. As far as a sample list, you can see here there are a number of organizations, both public and private, all across the country that work with us through our working groups, that are involved with us in disaster management. They are interested in a variety of new technologies and learning how different products are designed. Where's the most reliable brokers for these products? How do we work more closely with that? So that's who we serve. So next, let me go into how we do it. So we have 4 basic areas we look at: working groups and committees, activities that we conduct, the sensitive information sharing environment, and we are involved in a lot of third-party meetings and activities and exercises. So let me get into this real quick. So we have a state business emergency operations center work group that links us very closely to states. We have our sensitive information sharing work group under the AHC. We have the multi-state fleet response work group, and then we have governance structures that we help run regionally, where we act as the neutral broker. The reason for that is the consortium is a 501c3, so we're exempt from freedom of information requests, which makes our information protected. States like that because if states touch information, it becomes subject to FOIA, and the private sector likes that as well. So through our working groups is where a lot of the activity and the initiatives happen. Then we do a lot of different activities, meetings and training. Training is a new initiative for us. We provide a lot of training on a lot of fronts. We have weekly calls, we have monthly calls, we have quarterly calls. We do a lot of this, and we capture all these calls as recorded as training. Then we have the sensitive information sharing environment and the SICE App Store, which is going to be the predominant method we use to produce and market our goods and services, our data sets, and everything else. And then, like I said, we attend a lot of third-party meetings. We work closely with FEMA, Department of Transportation, Department of Energy, U.S. Customs Border Patrol, certainly other parts of DHS, the National Risk Management Center, and others. We work with state and local government, major cities, and then industry, hundreds of different companies and organizations we work within the industry sector. So we attend their meetings, we attend their calls and webinars, we attend their exercises, and that's part of how we get exposed and how we expose our partners, our solutions that we have as well. So let me go into when we do it. So on the website, you'll see a current planning calendar. This is an ebb and flow. You can see upper left corner, these are quarterly workshops already being scheduled now we just had our first one in February, the next one's in May. These will all be in the DC area as part of a national sensitive information sharing agreement we have with the private sector and government through DHS. These workshops are 40 to 60 people. They're all about planning and use cases and solution development. Then we'll have an annual meeting in 2019, sometime 2-day event fall of 2019. Then there's other workshops and webinars being planned. We try to keep this up to date with our sponsors so they can stay up to date. In our programs, we guarantee at least 5 meetings. So when you become a sustaining partner with us, you're going to be at least 5. We will do many more than 5, but we can guarantee 5. We're not sure you're available to get to them all, but we guarantee you 5, up to 5, if you will. And then we have a number of webinars under discussion right now covering drone and UAS systems and policy and data around that. healthcare resilience technologies we're looking at, cybersecurity, identity management. So there's a number of these in underway. This list changes weekly as far as growing. This will be updated once you become active with us. And then we have our Sustaining Partner Program highlights. This is on the web, but this will give you an idea of the types of activities. This varies certainly based on the level with which you're participating, but opportunities to speak at workshops, opportunities to be part of the work groups, either live in person or virtually through recorded sessions, access to all of our meetings, at least 5 minimum, complimentary registrations at our registered events, branding at our registered events, access to meeting registration lists based on our SICE data handling policies. We promote one of your webinars. We want to promote you to our members based on the products you have and how they align with what we do. And certainly the SICE App Store. This is a $1,200 a year subscription. People are vetted. It's no kidding around. We use this for sensitive information sharing. Right now there's about 80 products that are in there, multiple data sets, apps, websites, guides. We try to feature our partners in there either through a directory or through an actual offer that they put together through that. Being an approved SICE affiliate partner, you can actually market a service through there. You can do more than one. We have another service level for that, but guarantee you one based on your sponsorship level. Listing in the affiliate partner directory. We have a lot of people coming to us to say who's the most reliable, who do you guys work with that we can trust, so forth. So that's part of our affiliate directory. And then we try to limit the number of these sustaining partner slots. We have 3 categories, gold, silver, platinum, and you can see on the website you get the costing and kind of what it is. But we have a certain budget we have to meet. These sponsorship levels equate to that budget, and that's what we use to run the work groups and the activities, everything else. So, and make sure we get our partners involved in the process and sustaining the community year-round versus just a specific event. So this gives you some information on the basic program highlights. I think at the end of the day, what we try to do is look back at how we run our Sustaining Partner Program. We want you to understand how to leverage it. We want to coach you on how to leverage it and benefit from it, because the idea is to have partners with us every year, not do a rotating pool of partners that we used to have that issue early on when we first started. We don't want to do that anymore. So we have a very unique process. We align solutions with use cases and companies that we know need them, agencies that we know need them, and we'll tell you right up front if you align or not with either stuff we're working on now or stuff we will be working on in the future.